Legend of Zelda continues. Defeat your enemies, save the kingdom, use your sword. Beware. I cannot help you.
Find the crystals. Rescue the princess.
Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. And now, get into the latest Nintendo games, Ghostbusters 2 and Iron Sword. Only from Nintendo, now you're playing with power.
I wonder if that actor went on to do anything special after that commercial. Anyway, good evening, people of the future. Yeah, I'm pre-recording again, and the reason for that is by the time this video goes live, Steffi and Manny will have officially tied the knot and become a married couple. Manny, Autumn, if you guys are watching this, congrats, it's about time. Anyway, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Game Reserve. My name is Jager Newman, and I'm Warren these parts. And tonight we are playing Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. This game was released in 1987 for the Famicom Disk System, though it would eventually see a traditional cartridge release in both the Japanese markets and North America. So, the success of the original Legend of Zelda cannot be understated. Aside from Super Mario Bros., it was probably the most famous and successful game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was also groundbreaking for its non-linearity and sprawling open worlds, which can still be felt today, so the original Zelda was a really big deal. So it should come as no surprise that Nintendo wanted Shigeru Miyamoto to do another one, something that he had every intention of doing. However, Zelda 2 came out at sort of a weird time in the industry. Back in those days, the idea of a video game sequel was actually kind of a new concept. Today, it's a no-brainer. You take what worked in the previous game, tweak what didn't work, add some new content, some new features, and just kind of go from there. And bam, you got yourself a follow-up to a great game. However, at the time, people didn't really understand that line of thinking. They thought that you couldn't make the same game twice, otherwise people probably wouldn't want to play. They would feel like they got ripped off. So this is why so many games, so many sequels at the time ended up being so different from the original. That's why the original Super Mario Bros. 2 was not released stateside in favor of what we know as Doki Doki Panic. That's also why Castlevania 2 was so different from the original Castlevania, and that's also why Zelda 2 ended up being so different as well. And I have a feeling that Zelda 2 was the game that sort of led to the end of that line of thinking, because while Zelda 2 was a hit at retail and popular with critics at the time, it received a very mixed reaction from fans at the time, and even today, that seems to be the response that the game gets. Some people love the game for what it is, while other people feel it strayed a little too far from what the original Zelda represented. There's even some people who maintain that Zelda 2 is a bad game and that it's actually the worst game in the Zelda series, which I think is a little ridiculous considering that the CDI Zelda games exist, but whatever, a lot of people say those don't count. Me personally, as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of the NES Zelda games. I don't think the first Zelda game holds up particularly well. And I have similar opinions on Zelda 2 as well. There are some things about it that I do prefer over the original game, but I still wouldn't say it's much better or worse than the original game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually get into the gameplay as to how I'm going to be playing this game. Like with a lot of NES games I've been doing lately, I am going to be playing this off the Nintendo Switch Online service, which again, great way to play all these classics if you so desire. Yeah, a lot of people would probably say that's the Master Sword, but this is still before that was even a thing. That concept I don't think would be introduced until A Link to the Past. It's also weird to see this game titled Zelda 2, because most of the time it's just The Legend of Zelda with some kind of subtitle, and The Adventure of Link is really generic. Alright, so just like the original game, the game uses a battery backsave, or in this case, just flash memory. So let's just go ahead and pick my file. And the game, of course, just sets you into the game role and says go. So, plot of Zelda 2 takes place a couple years after the first game. Link, who I guess is living in the palace with the original Zelda, eventually discovers a chamber containing a sleeping woman who another character identifies as Zelda. But how can that be? Apparently the Zelda has been asleep for millennia, and it's also revealed that Link possesses the Triforce of Courage and thus has the means to awaken the princess. So it's pretty much another Save the Princess scenario that NES games were famous for. But it does add a great deal to the lore. This is actually the first game to actually tell us the Legend of Zelda, how there was this princess cursed to an eternal sleep, and because of that, in memory of that princess, every princess that's born into the royal family is named Zelda, which is why there are so many Zeldas in the world. A lot of people might say, does it explain why there are so many Links in the history of Zelda? Well, no, but you also gotta remember, the only character in the series to actually be named Link was in the Breath of the Wild games. Every other time, you're able to name Link whatever you want. So, something that's immediately going to throw gamers for a loop is the fact that the gameplay is taking place on a 2D screen, not too dissimilar to Super Mario Bros. We'll get more into this later, but we might as well go ahead and talk about the controls right here. So, it actually does feel pretty good. Movement feels pretty good. The jump has a good weight to it. It's not as control heavy as a Mario game, but it still has the same kind of feel to it. Like, you move forward and it takes a second for Link to stop, and you can also build that up into your jump. As for attacks, you can of course swing your sword, and since I have full health, he can shoot a projectile attack. What's interesting about the 2D system is that you can actually duck and aim it low as well. You also naturally raise your shield to block projectile attacks and other attacks in general, which comes into play big time during the fight scenes in this game. But enough jawing, let's go ahead and get started. So this is probably what more people were expecting from a Zelda game, but this screen right here is little more than just a overworld screen, kind of like what you would find in The Legend of Zelda. It's even complete with random battles, which we'll probably bump into here soon, or not. And this is the first of many towns in the game. This is Raru, I think that's called. I'm not good at reading. So, a common thing in a lot of Zelda RPGs is that when you come to a settlement or town like this, you need to talk to everyone at least once in order to get an idea what's going on. But a lot of these people don't really have a whole lot to say, so they aren't terribly helpful. Some of these places you can actually walk into. If all else fails, use fire. Not bad advice, I would say, but I'm not sure how that pertains to anything. Oh yeah, so you meet the woman in red in every town, and she'll restore your health. And of course, there's always been implication among fans of how she's restoring your health. And I'm not going to go into that because, you know, that joke is kind of beneath me. Use your imagination, you'll figure it out. Only the hammer can destroy the roadblock. I guess he's talking about that boulder from earlier. Anything to say, lady? Yeah, that's really useful. Ooh, there's some sprite flickering right there. Too many things on screen. Okay, so I guess I gotta follow this lady and she'll take me to speak to her father. That's a good bit of information to have. What's up, dog? The Parappa Desert. In the Parappa Desert, use this. So essentially, you get a shield spell, which you can use to, you know, sort of dampen how much damage you take. Magic is a little clunky to use, but I'll explain how you use that later. But anyway, we basically got what we need from this town. Let's see what's in here before we go, though. Oh, hey, it's an old munchkin! What you got to say? Okay, he did say something about, Papa. Ah, man, I'm such a bad reader. Alright, so... Now see, there's the enemies that will give you the random encounters. Ah! Getting my butt kicked already. So you can choose to fight the enemies or you can try to run. I usually just try to run because I prefer not to take the hit from the enemies. So you go through here. And you can see there's an enemy right there. Thankfully you can spot that, and that's the only one in here, so it's pretty easy to get through. But I really hate that this first cave is dark, because when you first start playing Zelda 2, you get to this place, you start taking hits all of a sudden, and you get the sense that you're not supposed to go in here. So then you go to all the other places that you can get to initially in this game, only to find that they all lead to a dark tunnel, and you can't find the candle, which lights everything up. I feel like for the sake of progression, this first tunnel should have been lit. That would have been a smart move. It's not really a desert, this is more of a beach, isn't it? Anyway, there's the palace I need to go to, but before I go there, I'm going to go this way because there's a health upgrade this way I can get. Just walk around. Yeah, so typically how I tell if the controls are good in a platformer is I get to a section like this and how easy or hard it is to just hop across simple platforms like this. And as you can see, I can do that pretty easily, so the play control of this game is surprisingly good, so it should be commended for that, I feel. Gotta watch out for this guy with his stupid boomerangs. I'm gonna run this way though, so I don't have to fight him. Okay, now let's head to that palace. A little annoying that you have to go through here again, but whatever. And see, like, right here, I can block these things with the shield. You can do that with most projectiles in this game. And it's nice that you don't have to raise it like you do in other Zelda games. It's nice that Link just does that naturally. Okay, now we get to our first dungeon, and this is where the game really starts to show its hand in regards to its structure. So even though the game is a 2D affair, it still does have the exploration aspect to it, but it functions more in a manner similar to Metroid, I would say. So you can freely go left and right, and as you make your way through these dungeons, you'll find upgrades that you can use to reach different parts of the game. Annoying little blobs. And you see, this guy has a shield too, so in order to deal with them, I actually have to get under his shield. I didn't do that too well, so I'm actually going to back up and fight this guy. I think that's the primary reason that Miyamoto wanted to do this whole 2D thing. Not just for the sake of making the game different for the sake of it being different, but also for the sake of, you know, expanding the combat, because the combat was the worst part of the original Zelda with Link's tank-like movement and all. Ah! I know it's cheap of me to rewind it every time I take damage, but, you know, I'm a modern gamer, and I really don't have any interest in conquering this raw like my ancestors did in the NES days. I just want to showcase this for the people to watch my YouTube channel. Besides, the whole point of my channel is to encourage people to check out the games themselves rather than just watch me play it. And the game just kind of did that whole Metroid thing, where most people's first inclination would be to go right, only to meet a locked door. And then you find that you can't really go much further than that, so you backtrack, find the key to the left of where you entered the dungeon, and then kind of go from there. I mean, that's a smart way to introduce the non-linearity of the game. And this game introduced a RPG system where you will level up as you defeat enemies and gain XP, and you'll be able to level up various attributes of the character, your health, your magic, and your attack, though you can only do one at a time. So my health went up so I can take a little more damage now. Not a huge fan of that, mostly because if you want to beef up Link's abilities, you do have to grind, which I hate in any video game, not just a basic RPG. So, yeah, not fond of that. But hey, whatever. I think it's telling that no other Zelda game chose to have that kind of system in favor of, you know, just a standard system where you would get more health as the game went on, as well as new items. Okay, that was cheap. Getting these little buggers to come off so I can stab them. It's also kind of annoying that you have to stab down in order to pick up items like that. Yeah, I'm not stopping to get that item. I know I'll fall in the lava there. Sometimes you just gotta take the hit. I'm sure someone can get through there without much trouble. Whoa! So you just gotta time this so you can get through. Easier said than done. Then the guy shouldn't give you too much trouble. Back it up a little bit there. Kinda wish Link had just a little more range here. Like, you can't really get someone with your sword unless you are butting right up against them, which seems a little cheap. Oh, that is a bad time to encounter a Dark Nut. I am going to back that up because I am not going to fight that thing while dealing with this thing. Come here, you. Alright, so these guys are tough to deal with. Ah, crap. Wait, I want to show you guys the game over screen here. Oh wait, never mind. Gotta lose all your lives. Before I fight this Dark Nut, I'm actually gonna equip my shield. Come on! Why? Quit turning around, Link! Good. talk more about that in a minute. Jump! Bollocks. Come on, you son of a... As you can see, this is actually fairly difficult. And I'm sure a lot of NES vets are doing what they usually do, just comment on how much I suck at the game and to get good. Of course, we got butt up against the door. There we go. So yeah, as you saw the combat at play there. The Dark Knight has shield, he has sword just like I did, and you can deflect his attacks if he had the shield up. But if you're attacking as he's attacking, that means you're going to get hit. He also blocks up and down, so you really got to get used to that system. And for the most part, I think it's good for the NES. But there's one feature that I really wish the game had, and that is a button to keep Link facing whatever enemy he's facing. Because as you saw there, I found myself often switching the direction I was facing, because as I'm pushing down the D-pad, I just happen to push in the other direction. And yeah, that can really put you in a bad spot at the worst possible time, so... yeah, that kind of sucks. I'm probably going to have to fight that guy again. Anyway, let's head up here. It's one of those games I feel might have been too ambitious for the hardware of the NES. I'd actually really like to see the style of Zelda brought back again, but again, a lot of people didn't really like this style of Zelda, which is why it was never attempted again. Unless you count the games on the CDI, but a lot of people are very staunchly opposed to those being counted among Zelda games. Yeah, about to die, but I think there's a fairy over here, and there is. Yeah, I know the boss is upstairs, so I'm gonna go this way. Pretty sure there's a dark nut down here I gotta fight. And there is. What am I doing? When you fight these guys, you want to be sure you put your shield up. How you do that is you push start to select what spell you want to use, and then you push select, which is a little clunky considering those aren't really the main buttons. And let's see if I can get this guy. There we go, not too bad. Oop, another one. These skeletons aren't too hard to deal with. Get them right here, you don't even have to duck. Leveling up my life again. Presentation is also a lot better than the original game, I would say. Link's character sprite is actually pretty good. I don't think I can go this way either, which means I probably gotta fight all these enemies again. The dungeons can be a little drab. Not as colorful as Mario or Metroid for that matter. Guess we gotta head upstairs first. I might as well keep going this way. Kinda wish your projectile attack covered more of the screen. Some might say that would make it unbalanced, but then again, it's not like you can rapidly do it and you lose it every time you're not at full health, so I don't think it's that bad. Trying to time this. Stand right here, and I think you can just get him. Ha. Degen. Whew. You never know what you're gonna find in places like this. Ah! Looked away from the screen to see where the time was. Definitely shouldn't have done that. Alright, I got a key, so let's see where we can go from here. I wonder why that guy doesn't just turn around. It's also interesting how they don't disappear when you off-screen them. That's actually some pretty advanced programming for the NES. Does that fairy come back? No, it doesn't. Anyway, we'll head downstairs again. I thought I would have to fight that Dark Nut again. Glad I don't, though. I gotta deal with this guy, though. Degen. Alright, I know there's another one. Knew there was. Try that again. You can push him off screen. That'll be the end of the fight, but then you won't get the XP points. So pick your poison. Then we got our first fight here, who I guess is BoJack Horseman. Thankfully, this guy isn't too hard to deal with. I know I'm struggling there, but all you really gotta do is just get at his head. Isn't too difficult. It's nice how they make that clear, given that his head stands out due to the fact that it's white, so yeah, that's some smart sprite design. Also, if you attack him below, you get that sound, which indicates that you're just butting against armor. Not a great first boss, but easy enough. I wonder why he exploded. That doesn't make sense. Alright, head forward into the dungeon, and this is what we're looking for here. We're looking for, like, these crystals or something. Yeah, I don't exactly know what's going on here. My attack's a little bit stronger. Okay, didn't actually want to leave that place, because there's still something in there that I need. Which is also something the game doesn't really tell you. You kind of have to remember that that kid told you there's a candle in here that you need to get. But you need to progress further into the game, so I want to be sure I get that. I do really like the music in this place, though. Fans of Super Smash Bros. Probably recognize that medley from the temple level, which is still probably the most popular stage in any Smash game, simply because of the fact that it's so big and there are places where you can really rack up that damage percentage. Stupid skull thing. See, I really hate enemies like that that just fly around like that, because they only serve the purpose of pissing you off and slowing things down. I believe it's this way to the candle. What even are those things? Stupid blob. You know, let's see if I can get that bag of pee. Oh, I can get it. Neat. I think they're XP points, I'm not really sure. Ah, good. I thought I was gonna have to fight all those guys again. Every dungeon has an item like that, so be sure you explore the place fully before you continue on with your quest. Alright, now we have that, I can get the hell out of here. Down we go. That's the flaming skulls. Oh, so that's what these things are. Remember the flaming skulls from Wind Waker? That's probably what those things are supposed to be. And one thing I hadn't thought about as I was playing this, like, these levels actually aren't terribly complex, so it actually doesn't really matter that you don't really have a map screen to chart your progress, like in Metroid. It's pretty easy to keep track of where everything is, which is good. That was one of the problems the original Metroid had. And now I can get out of here. And the tower crumbles, I guess. I'm not sure why that happens. Nah, that was bold. gonna see if I can get something else, because those things are kind of annoying. I really love the rewind feature on here. It just allows me to play these NES games in greater detail, rather than just struggling with the often bullshit difficulty of these games. Zelda 2 is one of those famously hard NES games, so it's definitely a godsend for modern gamers like me. Okay. The random encounters do get a little annoying, so I'm going to head back into town. And I'm going to have Link go see his honey, because he could definitely use some TLC. Alright, now I need to get a move on to the next part of the game. Head back out the way I came. Head in here. Forgot about the bats. Ah. I could have swore there was something there. Maybe it's this way. Stupid bat. Wish I had some kind of projectile attack. Nah. Trying to remember what those things are called. It's those purple things from Ocarina of Time, I think. These guys are a pain in the butt to deal with, that's for sure. Boongala! Get him into a corner, rope-a-dope him. Some kind of Christmas tree topper? Is that what that is? It looked like the angel on my mom's Christmas tree. Alright, let's get a move on to the next town. No, thank you. Doesn't matter. Link's got honey in this town, too. Hey, baby. My mom's gonna hate me for that one. You gotta get in the door before she closes it, though. Ah. You know, now that I'm looking at Link's character sprite, is he even wearing pants? I don't know. And there's also the old bag in town too. Her purpose is to restore your magic. Oh, and then there's this guy, who's probably the most famous NPC in the game. Okay, I do not know what the deal with this character is. I don't know if it's supposed to imply that the dialogue bubble broke, or if it's really his name. Maybe it's Error or something, but everyone reads it and they say, I am Error. It's one of the most famous pieces of dialogue on the NES. They should have made this guy a recurring character in Zelda games, where he would just introduce himself as Error. Alright, so... talk to this lady right here. Oh, it's a trophy. That's what it's supposed to be. But anyway, you gotta get that thing, and then this lady will let you speak to her father, who is the town's wise man, to get the Net's power up. So you get that, and it allows you to jump higher. Why they couldn't just make that a permanent upgrade like in Metroid, like maybe it allows you to double jump or something? I have no idea. I feel like that would have made the game a lot better too, because between using the magic with Select and the fact that as you're swinging your sword, it's very easy to accidentally turn around, I feel like this would have been much better as a SNES game. Just a few more buttons would have done this game wonders. Alright, let's head this way. I think the next stop on our destination is Death Mountain, which is one of the most notoriously hard parts of any video game. Too soon. Okay, shield. Just gonna go for it. Sometimes you just gotta charge. Bad time for that thing to pop up. Got some bats to deal with. Yeah, just off-screen them. So yeah, if you come to this part without that power-up, you're basically screwed. I just hope I have enough magic points to use it. And it doesn't look like I do. Damn it! I would call that a good reason for that to be a permanent power-up. I think if I take this guy out, though... No, it doesn't give me magic. Thank Lifeson. Doesn't even make you jump that much higher either. And look, it took out most of my magic meter, too, for crying out loud. Guess I gotta avoid the roots or whatever those things are. I have 15 minutes left on the stream. Actually getting a lot further than I thought I would. Ah. He cheated, he didn't jump higher. Now they jump higher. Later, guys. Ah, this is gonna be balls. I might be screwed. Nope. Oh. Okay, so I can't stop. Come on, Lake. Oh. This is ludicrous. I might have to just let myself die. Alright, I can probably get through it now. I keep thinking this is Super Mario Bros. You know, at the part where you're being chased by the bloopers? I got myself in a pretty good rhythm now. Ha! No damage. Alright, let's head to this town here. What is this one called? Water Town of Sire. I swear to Lyson, I am dyslexic. Wait, what? Did that thing just turn into a bat? Eyes of Ganon are everywhere. Be careful. Yeah, so that's something I haven't brought mention to. You're probably wondering where all these monsters are coming from. Typically, the monsters don't show up without Ganon around, but the story here is that all of Ganon's minions who are still wandering around are trying to capture Link so that they can use his blood in a ritual to resurrect Ganon, which is kind of dark. So when you get a game over, you see this shadowy image of Ganon, which is pretty threatening. And there doesn't appear to be anyone in here, so that's a waste. In Midrose Swamp, find a handy glove. Okay. Alright. I have full magic, but whatever. There's gotta be a wise man in here somewhere. Okay, that's bizarre. Hey, is that air? Thanks for the quickie. What's up, dog? I hate people who are wary of outsiders. But then again, in a world where evil pig sorcerer things exist, I guess that shouldn't be too surprising. I wonder if Ganon was the inspiration for Wizpig in Diddy Kong Racing. I guess I better head out. Oh, maybe she knows something. I lost my mirror. I get the sense I gotta go find that. Do you have anything to say, guy? I am much too busy. I thought you were Error. That's disappointing. Alright, let's get a move on. Guess we gotta find this mirror. Said something about swamp. Oh man, I gotta cross this bridge again. Stupid skeleton fish! Yeah, now I'm cut off from the town. I guess I'm not going that way. Still haven't found that hammer that they keep talking about. How did I take a hit from that? See what's in this cave. Stupid little bouncy things. Well, the good news is when you manage to tag them, you get them in a stun lock. Problem is just timing it so you can get that stun lock. Nah, not this guy again. Well, let's see if I can take him out. Oh, I managed to do it. Wait for him to jump over. Ah! Haha! Again, just a good example of the controls. I jumped over all that perfectly. Yeah, that was totally worth it. Probably gotta fight through all those enemies again. Maybe not. Maybe I can just stroll on out of here. Need to find a swamp. Where would a swamp be? Okay, that was cheap. Arrgh! Seriously, a button that would lock you facing one direction would be so helpful in this game. Ooh, this can't be good. I don't even know if I'm heading in the right direction right now. there's a palace over here. I wonder if I can go in there. I'm really tired of these random encounters. Whew, made it. Ah, man, I really shouldn't be going in here with such low health, should I? Oh well, only got 4 more minutes left on the stream. Let's see how far I can go. Oh, no. Wait for him to come. I got an idea. I'll wait for him to come into this corridor. Then I'll get him. I'll just let myself die so I can have full health. Okay, that's... didn't happen last time. Okay, where's the skeleton? It's probably a glitch. I wouldn't be surprised. Even in a highly polished, mid-budget NES game like this, you still had stuff like that happen. Now we got the... I call them Medusa head type enemies. All that fuss, and I can't even go this way since I don't have a key. Oh, so now you're back. I'm gonna try to fight you. I don't feel like it. Finicky little enemy programming. Ah. Good grief. Not one of these bugs. Ah, crap! 2 of them? No. Ah, crap! Not boxed in. I took 2 of them out. Let's head down another floor, see what we can find. Actually, his stream is about to end, so I might as well just call it there. Alright, so Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. It's actually a surprisingly solid action game for the NES. Is it a bit more linear than the original Zelda? I would say so, but exploration is still key in this, and you're probably not going to be able to finish the game without a guide. But I do think that they do make some smart improvements with it. By going to the 2D perspective, they're able to craft a more in-depth combat system, which does make it a little more stimulating than the original game, which honestly felt just a tad clunky. Are there some things that I feel could have been improved with it? Yeah, a little more direction would have been nice, and I feel like a few more buttons on the controls definitely would have helped a little bit. Definitely would have been better if they had waited for the SNES to do this, but that was still a couple years off, so waiting that long was just kind of out of the question. But yeah, Zelda 2, I know a lot of people regard this as the worst game in the series, but you know, it's kind of hard to say that considering the level of quality that you see with the Zelda series. I mean, I feel like in this case, let the least awesome would probably be best. And let's be real, the NES games just haven't held up very well. So like, they're not anywhere near as good as what we see from the series today. The only games in the series I would say are worse would be the CDI games, which again, a lot of people say don't count, but I disagree. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's content, please be sure to like and subscribe. I do these videos every Saturday, typically at 8 o'clock. And though I usually go live, sometimes I'm just not able to be around for it. So I'll be sure to leave something pre-record for you guys, set to premiere so that you can still have that same live stream experience. What I do is I pick a game, play it for an hour, and just talk about the design and history of it because I'm a big fan of all that stuff and I love talking about it. What I do not do is play games from start to finish because I feel like you're missing something if you're watching someone else play the game. Though no disrespect to anyone who choose to play video games in that manner. That being said, if there's any video game you would like me to cover in this format, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear it. I would love to add something else to it, especially if it's something I've never played before because I'm starting to run out of games that I haven't played before. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good week.